evacuated.
He lost all power in the Dover Strait and was drifting. The anchors couldn't hold. She was drifting and dragging towards the coast, and she's actually had a collision with a rock barge that was anchored off Samphire Hoe near Dover.
The storm began overnight and has been raging throughout the course of the morning. To give you some idea of its strength, a ship off the coast of Brighton here measured a gust of 97 miles an hour, and inland things haven't been much better. Fire crews in Dorset were called to homes flooded in Swanage. So much rain fell in Devon that the police declared a major incident. Houses in Braunton were particularly hard hit. In Bognor Regis, fighting a large blaze on the seafront in the midst of the storm proved problematic, with firefighters saying it was a struggle for them simply to remain on their feet. And in Brighton, one resident awoke to find his car under scaffolding that had toppled over in the night.
There's a small gap between a couple of houses and I parked in the wrong spot. So yeah, very unlucky.
Homes have been left without power, trains have been forced to go slow if they've been running at all, and ferries have been cancelled. The Met Office says the first big storm this autumn may have come as a shock to the system so late in the year, but the worst now appears to be over.
Well, the ship, the Saga Sky, that 200-metre boat that got into trouble early this morning, now appears to be moving under its own power. It is over to my left. You can see over to my right the barge that was carrying the stone that the Saga Sky crashed into, leading to some fairly serious damage for the cargo ship. It took on water. The crew, as you know, have been evacuated, most of them. That was quite difficult because of the high winds this morning, high winds that continue here at the moment. But the Saga Sky does appear to be moving under its own power. It's still got a tugboat close to it, and we hear that there have been no injuries amongst the crew, which is obviously the good news. There is still high winds across the south coast of England, winds that are battering the coast and leading to considerable problems for the emergency services.
Well, here in Swanage, the clean-up operation is underway after a pretty wild night here. The digger has been clearing up large quantities of sand and gravel which got swept in from the sea last night. They've been putting them back on the shore, and this is just part of the damage here. Along the way, the sea wall has come apart, large quantities of rock strewn around the pavement. The public have been warned to keep away. There are plenty of people coming down to have a look at the damage. And also restaurants along the seafront have been flooded. One owner told me that he's been there for 27 years. He's never seen anything quite like it. It was the level of the sea that was the problem. He said seaweed was floating around outside his restaurant, and he's been plenty of work to do here in Swanage.